The Pajama Factory complex along Park Avenue and Rose Streets in Williamsport is home to 150 tenants. Many businesses, offices, and apartments fill the factory. During an inspection back in July, the city's Bureau of Codes determined the complex was unsafe because parts of the sprinkler system were outdated. The order made by the city to vacate the building or continue to pay for a fire watch ended on December 14th.
The occupied parts of the building, 99% of the tenants, 98% roughly, had always had sprinkler systems in place. There were a few first floor units that didn't have sprinkler systems, but we took care of those.
When the inspection was done, the city ordered owner Mark Winkleman to upgrade parts of the sprinkler system in the building. Before those repairs were made, Winkleman and his wife, Suzanne, were paying $1,000 a day for what is called a fire watch service to monitor the former factory for fire hazards and safety concerns. To avoid shutting down, the Winklemans added fire alarms, smoke detectors, and installed a central fire alarm system that directly communicates with the fire department. They also put smoke and heat detectors in the factory's abandoned rooms. The couple says those upgrades cost $50,000.
Which is above and beyond what the experts had required that we had hired. So we feel like we, have tried to go that extra step.
Back in October, during a meeting with the city's Uniform Code of Appeals, Mark Winkleman told the board he couldn't afford to keep paying the fire watch or pay the millions needed to upgrade parts of the sprinkler system. He was hoping to come to an agreement with the city to keep the property open. It took a month for the board to get back to Winkleman, who says their decision was inexplicit.
And that's because some paragraphs were dropped, but other paragraphs weren't adjusted, and they needed to be. So there was confusion with the appeals board, and that was why it took so long. It's like, how do we get rid of this confusion?
Winkleman says when the inspectors came in July, their biggest issue was that people were also living in studio apartments in the former factory.
That was the reason that there was increased concern. But I want to point out that every studio where anybody was sleeping was sprinklered and had its own alarm system. And even the buildings themselves were alarmed and would have not communicated with the fire department, but set off an alarm out in the courtyard.
The Winklemans say they're planning on putting 28 housing units in one of the abandoned buildings and would like to add a market as well. Mackenzie Ocker, Newswatch 16, Williamsport.